So what would you consider to be an ultimate airsoft concealed carry pistol? Well, one of these maybe? Or maybe one of these? Or you might fancy yourself one of these? How about this little baby?
This to me is the ultimate one. However, if we're going to compare that to its real counterpart, many people would have preferred this little baby to carry 9mm rounds, but it doesn't. So in airsoft it makes no real difference. However,
in the real world,
this has done what this didn't do. This is the BERSA BP9CC. Yeah, so I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of BERSA before. But anyway, this is the airsoft version by ASG. Well, they're responsible for the licensing, so this has all your official trades. So you get a nice little manual in there. And would you look at that? And another cool thing about this is, I say cool, it's a bit weird. This is a blowback pistol. Nothing revolutionary about that whatsoever. However, if I was to tell you, it's not really a full blowback. Anywho, let me just show you what you get in the box. As you can see there, you get your little Allen wrench or Allen key, and you get the pistol itself. Nice and simple, very compact as well. But is it as compact as the Glock 42? No. So, we've got that out of the way. So it's a bit bigger than the Glock 42, but it is still a very concealable, or should I say concealed carry pistol for your airsoft gameplay. So let's get it out. Now, I will tell you, as a lot of you are beginning to learn, I don't just feed you information and tell you all the good stuff and stuff that I think is gonna make this so cool and make this video so cool and make the manufacturers so happy with me. Hell no! I will give you my honest opinion. Now, I know straight away there's at least two things about this little bad boy that I absolutely hate. And I will show you that during the pros and cons. So this is your ASG BERSA BP9CC. Oh, and by the way, BP9CC stands for BERSA Polymer 9, which is 9mm in the real world,
concealed carry.
Now, as I take you around this neat little package, there are a few things that will remind you of the Glock. Now, I have no issues saying the word Glock in this video because this is not trying to be a Glock. Yes, there are similarities, which I'll talk about in a moment, but it's not trying to be a Glock. This is a pistol in the real world in its own right. The first time I heard of BERSA was when I was watching Hickok's channel, and he was, he featured one of these in one of his videos, and I thought, that looks neat, and it reminds me of a Glock. Now, there are many other manufacturers that have pistols in this sort of setup. Lower polymer, metal slide. So it's not just Glock, and it's not just BERSA. However, another similarity is that it is a striker-fired pistol, just like the Glock, and I'll make no apologies for making all these comparisons with my favourite firearm. Well, airsoft firearm. So, although it's not exactly the same, let me just show you the rear and front sight. As you can see there, very familiar. And I think that's where I'll stop and just go into pure BERSAism. Is that even a word? Anywho, right here you have your fire selector switch. So right now, the pistol is in fire mode, but if I push that lever down, it reveals an S, and it's now in safe. Now flipping it over to the other side, you have your slide lock and release, your mag release, and moving along to the front, a rail system, albeit very small. Now I will get into the trades on this pistol, I'll give you some nice close-up shots, but I want to stick with the ergonomics of this, and I'm going to try my hardest not to get into the cons of this pistol too soon. But for now, For me, I love the design. Very small, very compact, but the great thing I like about this concealed carry airsoft pistol, something that it has over the Glock 42. See that? That's my Glock 42. My little finger all over the place, nothing to hold on to, it sits on the bottom of the mag. The BERSA fits my hand perfectly, despite its compact size. Now let's be fair, the 42 is designed to be smaller, and you can get magazine extensions so you don't have that problem if you've got large hands where the little finger has nowhere to go. But back to the BERSA, and by the way, that's the last time in this video you'll see that Glock. So continuing with the ergonomics, right here is where you would rest your finger when you're not firing the pistol. And even if you're not wearing gloves, if you look carefully, it's a textured design. So even if your hands are sweaty, it's not slipping off anytime soon. Do you know what? I've got to get rid of that sticker. And of course, it will be the same on the other side. Now moving along to the grip, you have, it's not stippling, but you do have a textured panel right there. Serrations on the back strap, serrations on the front of the grip also, and of course, at the back of the slide. Okay, so let's get into the functionality of this BERSA BP9CC, and I'm afraid this is where things go downhill for me, only because I think it's a little weird, but it could be a positive. What am I talking about? Well, have you ever had an airsoft pistol which is blowback, but not quite blowback? It's something in between a non-blowback and a blowback. And I'll show you what I mean. The travel of this slide is very short, and I really don't like that. Look, I'm gonna pull the slide back. And it stops right there. Look, can't go back any further than that. Now, some of you may say, well, it is a concealed carry and it is small. But come on. Damn, I said I wasn't gonna show you this Glock again. I'm sorry, but I just had to show you the difference between the slide on this going back and the slide on this going back. Now, I did say it could be a good thing because maybe this may have a faster rate of fire. And then again, there could be another point you could see as a positive. Does it shoot harder because it has to do less work with the slide? Now, you may have noticed I'm not a fan of non-blowback airsoft pistols. I've never reviewed one. That's gonna change in a few weeks. However, this came very close to being a non-blowback airsoft pistol. In fact, there is a non-blowback version of this. In fact, there are more reviews of the non-blowback version of this than there are of this blowback version. So when I ordered this little gem, yes, I paid for this one, I was quite surprised to see that it said blowback on the box. But as I just showed you, it's nothing to write home about. Now, before I get this ready for the shooting test, let's have a look at the trades. And those of you who know about the real version of this will appreciate how much detail they have gone into making this look like the real deal. Even down to the little instructions in this box right here. Okay, let's do this now. As excited as I am to do this shooting test, this is the part where I show you what I don't like about this pistol. I detest magazines that look like this. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much I hate magazines that look like this. But you know what? It is what it is. It takes about 15 rounds. The only good thing about having a magazine like this is, literally, I've got nothing. If you can think of something, drop your comments down below, but I hate magazines, but yuck. But you know what? If it performs well and it does the job, who cares? Again, if you're into filmmaking, and I'm not just talking about amateur filmmaking, you don't really want to use an airsoft pistol like this because this does not cut it. But if it's just for airsoft, then I think we're all good. If it does what it says on the box, we're good to go. Now, how do you get the CO2 in? You have this screw system right there, but then if you look on the base, you have a button just beneath my thumb that says push. You simply push that button and off comes your back strap. And that's where you put your CO2. Now, if you don't fancy spraying silicone oil in your pistol like that, just drop a little silicone oil right there on the top of your CO2 capsule, or just buy the CO2 capsules that already has silicone oil in it. Just pop your back strap back on, and then keep turning this until you hear that little familiar piercing sound of your CO2 capsule. Now, what you want to do with this mag is you have your magazine follower just there, you pull that down and rest it just in that little recess, and then you use a speed loader without the attachment on the end and fill it up. But make sure you have your finger on the other side of this hole, because if you don't, this is exactly what's going to happen. And don't forget to release the follower. Nice. Oh, and by the way, doing this does nothing. Unlike a regular airsoft or real firearm where it actually chambers the next round. Okay, so we're going to go for a quick accuracy test and then we're going to chrono this. It'll be quite interesting to see what readings we get. As always, I like to show you what I'm working with. This target system itself, fairly big. It's like almost like a large suitcase size. However, the target paper, which is large, has these tiny targets on it. And today I'm going to use these ones right here. So this is on line 1. So 1A, B, C, D, and E. Just to give you an idea of how small these are. Here's a standard size SD card. And here's me holding it right up against one of these targets. Look, these individual targets are not that much bigger than a standard SD card. Let's do this and take note of the stats coming up on your screen right now. Hold on, sorry, quick voiceover. Look, 2 shots. 2 BBs came out at the same time. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Now, I will say this straight away. This thing, despite its size, has a bit of a kick, and boy is it snappy. I know I say that a lot about airsoft pistols, but the snap on this is snapalicious. Now look at this. Got one right here, bottom left hand corner. Got one right there which effectively could have shot the weapon out of the enemy's hand right there. Then as we move along here, that's more of a warning shot above his head. Okay, I missed, right? Okay, so it went above his head. One right there, straight past his ear. But look, I get one dead on, right on the neck, right there. And then all the other shots are sort of in and around, you know. Basically, this isn't the most accurate, but it's not bad at all. Again, remember how small these targets are. So I would say this is still pretty decent when it comes to accuracy, and of course you got to put the human element into it, which is my shooting skills, or lack of shooting skills. But anywho, this BERSA BP9CC has a nice little kick for something this size, and you heard it. This thing is loud, and I'll confirm this to you right now. Yes, it has blowback. No, the slide does not travel back that far, but boy does it make up for it in how loud it sounds. And once we get to the chrono, I'm guessing this really does pack a punch when it comes to the FPS. 390, 336, 362, 371, 415, 331. Let's do two more. 354, 384. Do you know what? It goes without saying, this little beast can be very powerful. In fact, a little too hot for gameplay. However, it's a brand new pistol. Maybe it just needs wearing in and bedding in nicely so it will settle down, but that was all over the place. But I love the fact that it is powerful. Ugh, is there anything that lets it down? Doesn't look cool at all. Okay, let's get to it. Let's get to the pros and cons, even though I did touch on a couple of cons earlier on. So let's do this. Let's go through all the cons right now and then the pros. So you know straight away how I feel about that magazine, so I won't go into that again. It's just horrible. And I really don't like that the slide really does not travel that far back, but keep that in the back of your mind because I'm going to turn that con into a pro. And the other thing I'm not too thrilled about, the FPS. It's all over the place. Again, could be because it's a brand new piece. Maybe the CO2 wasn't sitting in there properly, but I did tighten it. Anywho, let's just move on to everything I love about this piece. I love that it looks exactly like its real counterpart. Maybe the slight differences would be around the magazine base and one or two other places, but other than that, they did a very good job at making this look like its real steel, or should I say real deal counterpart. And I love the fact that it is officially licensed. Oh, and let me just turn that con about the slide not traveling back very far into a little pro. The fact that that slide doesn't have to go back that far possibly means it uses less CO2. Because, you know, with any gas or any electric or any sort of powered airsoft weapon, any action that it does is going to take from its power source. Not only does it use its power source to propel the BB, it's also got to kick that slide back. Now this slide hardly goes back. So maybe this particular pistol is a bit more CO2 efficient? Maybe. I love that it's a concealed carry for airsoft and it's not too small, and I like that it is quite similar to the Glock. Come on, let's admit it. Check the video description below for a list of retailers that sell this. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. And just before I go, don't think I haven't noticed, I want to say a huge thank you to every single one of you out there that has subscribed to my channel, because I have finally gone past the 200,000 mark. Thank you. It's kind of crazy because I remember when I started this channel about 3 or 4 years ago, there were other YouTube airsoft channels that I saw as being big and huge, and I was their huge fan, and now my channel is bigger than theirs, and it's really weird, it's odd. But I am so grateful, and I still look up to those other channels. Just because I may have become a little bit bigger than those other channels, it doesn't mean I feel I am better than them. Hell no, I'm still a huge fan of those channels, and that will never change. So now that I've hit
that 200,000 subscriber mark, obviously I am now working on a nice giveaway to say thank you. How I'm going to do it and what's going to be included in the giveaway, kind of still working that out, but I will be uploading a video soon giving you more information. But make sure you're following me on Twitter and on Instagram too. That's all I'm going to say. Thanks for watching. I'm Airsoft Mike, and I'll catch you next time. And once again, thank you for pushing me over 200,000 subs.